Good evening, popular astronomers. It is time to pop your Astro on Tuesday, the 30th of November. Let's play the countdown music while you share the feed and while everybody logs on to watch the ISS and Winter Skies special. 2 weeks away. It seems like a lifetime. At first, when I went away back home to Cheshire, I thought, this is amazing. I don't have to do Pop Astro live. And then by the end of the second week, I was thinking, I really want to do Pop Astro live again. So what do we sing when the mug pops up on the screen? Plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the stirry, stirry night mug. Available in the Pop Astro shop. So on tonight's show, we've got so much exciting stuff, but that is supposed to be the needle being whipped off a vinyl record. We have a change to our guests, and we've resurrected Patrick Moore, and we've got Brian Cox. That is not true at all, but we've got the next best things. We have got Liam Kennedy of ISSabove, as previously forecast. Ralph Dinsley from Northern Space and Security, who's our space junk expert. He's up far, really far north in, I might say it wrong, Alnick. It's up there and it's cold and they've not had power for 3 days. I would say that is a very decent excuse. But being a very worthy stunt double tonight, we have got Neil Sanders from Go Stargazing on December Skies. And he's also going to be talking about the new Go Stargazing app and his partnership with the Federation of Astro Society. So that is a great news. So, oh my God, 11 comments. Oh, look, you all miss me. Hi, it's Kiri, most lit live space show around. Thank you. I'm going to write that down on my epitaph. That is great. Good evening, Jed. Lovely to see you. Oh, on it. Whoa, this is the most comments I've ever had in the opening gambit. A gambit. Is there a closing gambit? Gambit. What is the definition of a gambit? Is it a certain amount of bits per gam? Can you have yeah, you can have megabits. Let's have a look. Wow, all these comments. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to be needing my own producer at this rate. Hi, Bob. Hi, Kiri. Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm so excited to be back. It's great. So, I nearly let the sloth out of the bag. We've got very big Cosmo news tonight. You're going to want to stick around for that. Not only has Cosmo been to an amazing place, but something very unusual has happened to him. Think Doctor Who. That's the only clue. Thank you, Kiri. I've missed me too. And I've missed you as well. Okay. So this is a friendly reminder to align your planets courtesy of the SPA. Our website is everything that you need, no matter what level of astronomer you are. And the big news this month is, let's see if I can get rid of some of these banners. So you can see the page. Planetary News is here. A great new article. The planets in December 2021. What year is that? That's not the right. Threw me then. We skipped forward an extra many thousand years. So this is a great article here. Which planets will be placed for observation in the night sky of December and January? Find out via our helpful guide via the SPA planetary section. You have got everything you need there to do some beautiful planetary observing. And oh boy, the planets are so beautiful. I stayed at I went clubbing in Manchester last week, and the next night after the club at my new friend's house, basically I just crashed at a party house, and on the Sunday night I said, look, there's Jupiter, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is not Jupiter, that is Venus. And it was my first encounter with Venus this time round, and it was so bright, and we had Jupiter and Saturn and Venus in the sunset above Manchester. Oh, it's such a good trick to be able to pull out of your hat and show people the planets, even the basic planets. I would say about 99% of people are mystified by what the bright things are in the sky, and that is a great party trick. Speaking of great party tricks, being able to show people the ISS is an extra cool party trick. More about that in a moment. Okay, let's see. Just check the comments. Good evening. Oh, Lord, I will correct the spelling mistake. Yes, Robin, terrible. Falling asleep at the wheel or the keyboard. Yeah, more coffee for you, Robin. Come on, get that website edited, get that magazine edited. The SPA always needs volunteers, as you can see from Robin's lousy proofreading. Only joking. I'm certain Robin absolutely needs so much help with the magazine still. It would be lovely if you could contribute to the SPA in any way, especially with media, the magazine, with outreach. We need your help. Get involved. Also, great new way to make cosmic friends with the same brilliant outward looking mindset as us. That's what makes astronomers so wonderful. Oh, hello to all you wandering planets. The email updates from the SPA are excellent as well. Yes, they are. Oh, okay, too late after sunset. It's nice to know that they're right up there. So this gentleman here, Liam Kennedy, is he still in the green room? Yes, he is. Liam is coming on in a minute. We've had Liam on quite a couple of times, and I thought we'd get him on because of the recent near miss with the space junk created by a satellite being exploded in space. Why would you do that? And our second guest should have been an orbital debris expert, but he's not on tonight. So we've got Liam going solo all on his own. Let's go to Liam right now. I can see he's currently faded out. Oh, there you are, Liam.
Hello, hello.
Friend of the show. Whereabouts are you? And just to anybody who's not seen you before, please explain your amazing accent.
Yes, because I tend to put more of my British accent on when I'm on the show with you, Vicky. But yeah, for since 1994, I have been living out in the USA, and currently I live in California, Southern California, not far from LA, Los Angeles, and that's where I'm hailing from now. In fact, if I zoom myself out, this is when the space station was passing over my neck of the woods. In fact, if I come back on, I'm sort of like here.
Okay.
Remember where that is? That's sort of like where I live. It's on the mountains close to Pasadena. They're called the San Gabriel Mountains. And yes, John mentioned something really, really apropos, which is something that I was going to be getting into. Yeah, there you go.
Liam.
Wait, I shall wait.
Stop.
So I haven't really introduced what on earth I do.
And I've not played your song yet, but we're
oh my
right. Tell you what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You can introduce what you do. Then we'll play the song, because I've been saying, because I've got to say, whenever I play any of my mad little bits of music, you always give me the sweetest comments. And it was like, right, I'll write a song for Liam because he's flattered me. He's tickled my ego. And hence I've got a song. So give me an outline of what you do. Then we'll play the song.
Okay. So this is really a good expression of what I do. Can everyone see that this is flashing right now?
Yeah.
That is because the International Space Station is passing over the UK. This is a Raspberry Pi computer, and it's running some software that I wrote that tracks the space station and shows you whenever the space station is above you, and you plug it into a TV, and it displays a whole load of facts about the space station, and whenever the station is above, which is 5 to 8 times every single day, it's somewhere above your horizon. I've configured this to think that it's somewhere in Oxfordshire, and which is not far from where I lived when I was in the UK. I actually mostly lived in Royal Leamington Spa, although I grew up in a town called Haverhill, just south of Cambridge. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. This little box, if I Yeah, let me see. I put the live feed up from the space station, but because it's cloudy and dark, you can't really see anything. That's a shame. Anyhow,
whereabouts are they now, Liam?
So yeah, so the station now looks like it is. So it's this little screen that I've got going on here is what it displays when the space station is passing by, and it's 600 miles away from Oxfordshire. And it's pretty low on the horizon at 21 degrees above the horizon in the south right now. So that likely means it is passing somewhere over mainland Europe right now. So it's passed over the UK and on its way out the other side. But it's still going to take another 4 minutes until the space station dips below the horizon. Anyhow, that sort of gives you a little intro to some of that. When this pass finishes, the screens will start displaying other information, like a photo of the crew, give you news, and I'll be sharing more about the news on the space station in a minute too, I'm sure. And then it lets you know when the next visible pass is, and there's something really special for the UK, because you guys in the UK, you are so lucky. I want to swear.
You say this every time, Lee, and you say
how lucky you are. You don't know how lucky you are. You may know how lucky you are, but one of the things is that because the UK is at the very peak of the International Space Station's orbit, it means the clustering of visible passes that happen across the UK are far better than what I get at a lower latitude in Southern California. And what that means is for a clustering of, for a week or more at a time, you get multiple very bright visible passes every night. Of course, the only unlucky thing is that the weather might not actually, whereas here we don't see a cloud for 6 months sometimes. In the UK, you might have a little bit more challenges going on there.
Well, we'll have to do an exchange visit. Our clouds come to you and your latitude. Anyway, yeah, right. Okay, so I have written, Liam, a very short song about the ISS, and I make music about all subjects, but nothing inspires me like space. The lyrics just seem to come out at the end of my fingers, and you'll be amazed to know I had this. It was in my head and recorded and completely made in less than an hour.
Wow, sounds like that new episode of the Beatles, right? The song. What is it on? Is it on the Disney Channel?
Oh,
Get Back. Is that where they show Paul McCartney creating Get Back in 2 minutes, where it just suddenly it comes from his riffing and then out comes this wonderful piece. And yes, Vicky, that's what I think you do in these kinds of things. You're so creative. So I'm sure I'm not your number one fan. I'm sure there are many fans out there too, but I've just really got to say I just love everything you do. So,
that's so sweet. Right, hopefully you're going to love me even more in a sec. Right.
And just to let you know, this is what my place looks like at night from the space station. That is LA.
That's pretty cool.
Captured a few weeks ago. Anyway, I'll shut up because I want to hear what you've created.
Okay, if you're a good boy, I might even play it twice, but here it comes. With the space station rising, it's never not surprising. But what are they doing up there as the solar panels gleam and flare? Find out with ISS above, made to track that diplomatic dove in space. And the best collaboration of the human race.
Experiments and crew, a life-changing view. Oh, to be an astronaut with a suction toilet and cosmic door.
It's a pie glow and it flashes when the ISS dashes over your head day and night, and you get alerted when it's really bright. Inspire with ISS above, made to track that diplomatic dove in space. And the best collaboration of the human race. I can see it. There it is.
What? What? That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I got little wet bits coming. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Thank
Or
you.
maybe you're not crying, but I'm crying.
That's so cool, Liam. Thank you. Yeah, and that's how what you do and how the ISS inspires me, and I'm sure lots of other people as well.
That's exactly true. It's a beacon up there. And yeah, so give a shout out to Virtual Astro on Twitter.
Hi.
He does such an amazing, fantastic job of bringing the public into the visible passes. So if you're not following Virtual Astro, I'm sure most of you are. He's a good account to follow, particularly for the UK. You won't miss a visible pass ever if you follow him.
Yes, thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to Monsieur All in I, who is my video co-creator, who actually put a little bit of extra magic onto that video for you, Liam.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I so love just how you brought really key things about the space station into that, especially the science, Oh,
I thought you were going to say especially the suction toilet.
Especially the suction toilet. Always, it's never inappropriate to bring toilets talk about the space station into any conversation.
Actually, as it happens, I was just Googling it earlier because I was going to send Cosmo to the space toilet, but I thought, no, we need to go somewhere a bit more glam than that for his big revival. So I was reading about the different types of toilets that they have on the spaceships. They've got 2 on the ISS.
Yeah, in fact, they just got another one with that there was a replacement sent up, a brand new one, and I think there's a new one in Naoka in the new module. So, and please feel free to correct me if anything I say, with the power of Google and everything. I love discovering that my little things might have a little inaccuracy in it somewhere, but there's definitely an extra one. And also there's one in the Crew Dragon. There's really a bathroom in all of the docked spacecraft that for human for crewed flight. So the Soyuz has a toilet in it, but they generally don't use that when it's docked. Crew Dragon is a little bit different in that it's a little bit easier to get into, and occasionally it has been known to be the bedroom of an astronaut when there's lots of astronauts on there than there are bedrooms.
Oh, wow. Okay. So thank you for that, Liam. A little bit of behind the scenes, less than glamorous info on the space station. Now then, something happened a couple of weeks ago, and I work in the space tourism sector, and I woke up the other day and I was like, what have you done? Tell the class, Liam.
Yeah, so I will tell the class what was going on. And in fact, maybe I'll start off without actually saying much about this. I'm just going to play an audio, and I'll stay here, on the screen, and I'll just go quiet. Everyone just go quiet whilst
Fingers on lips. Fingers on
yes.
lips.
Fingers on lips whilst I play this. Now, just a little preamble. There is a live feed on the space station that you can watch 24 hours a day. And while the crew are up and working, you can often hear live the communication between mission control, both in Houston and in Russia and other places, where they're speaking directly with astronauts. And the astronauts, they go to sleep on London time. So they generally wake up at about 6 a.m. and then every day they have a crew conference call at 7 a.m. So they're asleep, obviously, at the times when all of you folks in the UK are asleep, mostly, unless you're working nights. So what I'm going to show you or play is audio when the crew were unexpectedly woken up early. So, and this was on November the 15th. So let me just play this out and I'll go quiet.
Station Houston on Space to Ground 2 for an early wake up. Hey Mark, good morning. Sorry for the early call. We were recently informed of a satellite breakup and need to have you guys start reviewing the safe haven procedure. It's 9.21. We are planning on performing through Block 8, which will include closing the radial hatches. The time of concern is 0600.
Copy, 9.21. We're looking at executing that through Step 8, and including closing the lateral hatches, and time of concern is 0600.
Okay. Good read. We have a step on the ground to configure before you guys close those radial hatches. We will be sure to let you know when we are ready for you to perform your steps.
Sounds good. Thanks for the heads up.
So, yeah. Wow. So imagine that. I don't know if you heard this. It really did sound like Mark was a little bit sort of just woken up.
Astronauts are allowed to sound.
Yeah, that's right. Can you imagine you're being, and they literally have to wake them up. So they're, something comes over internal speakers or something, and they literally have to wake them up. And what you just heard was that at that moment, so there is an organization that is tracking space debris on behalf of the whole world. It's something that's a self-preservation thing, and it's mostly run out on the defense sector through what is now called Space Force. It's actually run out of Vandenberg Air Force Base, not far from where I am, and they track orbital debris. And on behalf of all satellite providers, they will actually give warnings when they detect that some space debris is going to be coming close to another satellite, in this case, the International Space Station. But what happened on that morning was entirely unusual in that they recognized that there was some kind of big satellite breakup. And when this first happened, they did not know what the cause of that breakup was.
What, Liam? No.
So, and I happened to be listening to this live. So while I was, working late on Sunday, I just got word that something had happened unusually with this early wake up, and then I started recording the live stream. And if I can just bring up one little graphic here, this will help describe what happened, what was being discussed. You heard on that audio that Mark was being told that they're going to be going into what's called safe haven configuration. And what happens is whenever there is a debris event that is referenced on the space station, that means that an orbital debris is going to be coming relatively close to the International Space Station, usually with much closer than 1 kilometer. And as the space station travels at 7 kilometers per second, 1 kilometer is really no time at all. So for safety, what they were talking about doing was closing the radial hatches, and the blue and the orange areas that are on this graphic that were created by my friend Raphael De Palma. You can find his account on Twitter. The blue and orange areas are all of the human habitable areas, including the docked spacecraft and also some of the resupply vehicles. What they were doing was locking down all of the orange bits. So everything that was an orange bit was going to be locked off, and all of the blue bits were going to be left open. And what that was doing was really allowing the space station to have less of a problem if there was a catastrophic puncture of any module of the space station. And typically what goes on with these safe haven things is in times gone by, because they do happen every now and again, the crew retreat to their lifeboat, and their lifeboat is the spacecraft that they came up to the space station in. So in this case, just above me, sorry, I'm sort of going backwards here. My head's in the way. Oh gosh, I have no coordination when I'm pointing differently. So that's the Crew Dragon. So 4 of the crew went to go and shelter in place there. And then the 3 Soyuz crew, which included 2 cosmonauts plus Mark Vanderhei, they went to shelter in place here. And typically what happens with these shelter-in-place issues is that they go in just for the moment when the debris event is expected to pass. And usually it happens once. It's just not quite a random thing, but it's when this debris is past its orbit, is just coinciding with the ISS's orbit. And they usually then just go in for, maybe half an hour. They'll have something called the time of concern, which is the time when they think that orbital debris is going to be within this area, maybe less than 1 kilometer. But yes, it is a bit like the plot from Gravity. This is what makes it that. So usually that happens once. They then go in, they come out. If you hear what astronauts say, what that's like in previous times, they're sitting in their spacecraft and they're thinking, well, okay, it could puncture the space station, but it could also puncture just as equally their spacecraft. So it's a bit of just a lottery is in terms of what you think may happen. But the idea being is that if there is a catastrophic event, they can at least have the option of very quickly leaving. So both spacecraft are configured in a way that would allow them to undock and deorbit, if they needed to do that. The bit that was different this time was that this just wasn't one piece of debris. What was evolving in terms of understanding what happened is that this was far more drastic than a single debris. As it turned out, and in fact, I've got another little video that I can play out here. If you'll bear with me, I'm going to switch over to my ISSabove, and I'm going to play out a little simulation of what actually happened. So let me just bring this up. Here we go. So no audio is going to come through on this, but I'll just speak through what you're seeing. This is created by this company, AGI, and it's a simulation of what was going on. So what they discovered is it was this satellite, a defunct Russian satellite called Cosmos 1408. And this is showing you there was an anti-satellite launch from a place in Russia, and it basically went up and killed the other satellite. And this is sort of a simulation of the debris cloud that was created as a result of that. And if I just switch to another view here, just to show you one more little quick simulation. This was created by Professor Hugh Lewis, actually from Southampton University. If you want to go full screen on this, this is showing you an exaggerated view of all of a certain number of the orbital debris elements from that anti-satellite launch, as if you're on the space station and you're looking at this cloud coming towards you. This is definitely more dramatic than it really is, because the elements there are far brighter and bigger than they would be in real life. But nevertheless, it should give you some idea of just the extent of the debris field that was created by this anti-satellite test that was done by Roscosmos. So let me just switch back to me again. So hopefully you got some idea that this was a bigger event, and this was partly when I knew that it was not a normal shelter-in-place safe haven. It was when I heard that they were staying in their spacecraft for more than one orbit. In fact, they stayed in for 2 orbits, and that is completely unusual. And what it ended up happening before the end of the day, they were having what they called debris field crossing events happening twice every orbit. So that meant that the debris field had extended itself across half of the orbit around the Earth. So they were basically coming across the debris on 2 sides of the space station's orbit. Just unbelievable that this happened. Unbelievable that Russia decided to do this test. on a satellite that is huge. I mean, it's like 3,000 kilograms, and above the space station, so the debris field, it both extends further up and lower down. So it's
so the satellite was above, and they're claiming that it was causing no threats. But
yeah, that is a big fat lie. Yeah, I don't mind going on the record. That is a big fat lie. And so by the morning, there were already there was a release of information that just how bad this could be. Essentially, that U.S. Space Command that was tracking the debris was saying that there were at least 1,700 objects that are 10 centimeters or bigger. And a 10-centimeter thing hitting the space station is not a good thing to happen. If that would be absolutely catastrophic. It does have shielding on it that can withstand 3 millimeter size. 3 millimeter, remember, 3 millimeter is a hell of a lot smaller than 10 centimeters. But if you can see simulations of what happens when the shielding is hit. There's basically 12 layers that if something hits the space station, and by the way, things do hit the space station. That's one of the things that is conducted by the Canada arm. They regularly go and do imaging of the external parts of the station. You can see that parts of the solar panels have had hits. There was the Canada arm had a I'm sort of pointing to my arm as if that's anyway. Just imagine this is your Canada arm, and there was in May there was a debris hit that created a hole directly through the Canada arm. So it happens, but this was just extraordinarily dangerous. The result of this is actually came back today. And that there was a scheduled spacewalk to replace a faulty antenna. And in late last night, they decided to call it off. That was after they had a press conference this yesterday morning, and the NASA had talked about the elevated risk. But they said that from now that the orbital data for the debris has been more accurately monitored and known, they felt it was still within their limits that they put on safety for an astronaut, because you definitely don't want to be out on a spacewalk for 7 hours and then get your spacesuit punctured. And they talked about it like this: it was a 7% increase due to the debris field, but it was a 1 in 2,700 chance that an astronaut could get punctured by space debris on this particular spacewalk. So it's not a zero risk. But obviously what happened later on is they determined that there was something else. There was another debris object of concern. They haven't said it is from the anti-satellite debris field. They haven't said it isn't, though. And that's when they decided to call it off. And there's word that they may have it rescheduled to Thursday.
Wow.
So I know that's a huge dump of info there.
Wow. Well, thank you for keeping us up to date and for being the foremost ISS expert. Just in slightly happier news now, one of the astronauts is coming down shortly, and he has been up there a long time.
Yes, Vicky, I gave you some duff information.
Bad luck.
Oh, yeah. So the info was not entirely inaccurate. So who we were talking about was Mark Vande Hei. So the two bits that I mixed up is there is a launch to the station that's happening next Tuesday. And that is, in fact, if I bring my little news page up and just have it there. It's a lot to read, but on Tuesday, there's a launch of a Soyuz rocket with 3 astronauts, and they will be on the station just for 10 days. And just to take you through that. This is another one of those private astronaut launches where they're not launching cosmonauts. There's one professional cosmonaut on there, and the other two are spaceflight participants. They've actually paid their way to get onto the space station.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And in fact, one of them is actually a very famous, infamous Japanese entrepreneur called Yusaka Maezawa. And I may have completely mispronounced his name, but he is the billionaire who has purchased a SpaceX Starlink Starship that will, it's called the Dear Moon Project, where he intends to take at least eight people around the moon on a SpaceX spacecraft. And obviously, as a precursor to that, he just happened to have an extra $50 million, maybe $100 million for 2 seats to get him and his producer up on the space station for 10 days via a Soyuz. So that is happening on Tuesday. The bit that I mixed up was I made up that Mark Vande Hei, who is a current astronaut on the space station, and just to show you who that is from the ISSabove here, if I just get myself out of the way, Mark is the astronaut who is on the far right of the screen. Is that right? Yeah. Whichever way around that is. Yeah. So, and Mark will actually be staying up until March. So if I just bring that up.
Okay,
up again.
March.
So, yeah,
Lord, I've just spent 2 days in a caravan stroke holiday lodge, which is much bigger than the ISS, and cabin fever after one afternoon. So kudos to those people. I feel sorry for them because I know what it's like in a caravan in the rain.
Yeah, when he comes down, he will have the record for the longest duration space flight to the International Space Station. It will be 353 days. And when he first went up, there was a potential that he may get an extension. And it was all to do with a shifting around of different priorities on Soyuz launches, actually particularly related to the film crew that went up there about a month or so ago. It was because that happened, it meant that his seat was not available to go back down on his Soyuz spacecraft that he arrived. So he was basically then shifted out to the next available empty seat, which is in March of next year. So yeah, he got an extension of 6 months. And
6 months. Hope he had enough clean underwear. Liam, time is racing away, and we've got our lovely second guest sat waiting.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sat waiting. So thank you so much. We'll have you on again in a couple of months. It's always a pleasure. I'll play your song again because I do like to play them twice, just while people have updated themselves on there we go.
If I can just finish, that screen there is a calendar that is showing all of the visible passes over the UK over the next week. So that's what I mean. You are lucky people.
Yay.
All right. Okay. I will say goodbye, and thank you so much for having me on and listening to me natter on for so long.
It was really good, Liam. Thank you.
All right.
I'll play your song, and then I want to watch your face. I like to look at people's faces while I'm playing the song, so you can keep yourself on this time.
I will keep myself on. Just
my little ego.
Put me in the back.
I live in a field on my with not much company, and occasionally I just need to get my ego tickled, So where is the magic button for playing the music? Here it comes, Liam. I just thought it summed up what you did nicely. With the space station rising, it's never not surprising. But what are they doing up there as the solar panels gleam and flare? Find out with ISSabove, made to track that diplomatic dove in space. And the best collaboration of the human race.
Experiments and crew, a life-changing view. Oh, to be an astronaut with a suction toilet and cosmic thought.
It's a pie glow and it flashes when the ISS dashes over your head day and night, and you get alerted when it's really bright. Inspired with ISSabove, made to track that diplomatic dove in space. And the best collaboration of the human race. I can see it. There it is. you go, Liam.
Oh, I love the bit where you say, and you can see it.
And you can see it, yeah. My lovely video producer, All and I, has photoshopped somehow the ISS going over on that because it wasn't on that original clip.
Such a great job. Thank you
Great,
so
thanks,
much
Liam. See you
for
soon.
everyone.
Bye.
All right.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Some lovely comments there. Thank you, Liam. There's a high pass over Oxfordshire. Good luck with the amount of cloud that we've got. That was great, wasn't it? Nice, Liam. I was totally mesmerized. The Russians are talking about pulling out of the ISS, doing their own thing. I'm sure that's precisely how they put it as well. In fact, oh, do you know I need to belch? I'm not drinking real beer. It's pretend beer. By the way, if you think I'm drinking on the job, I'm not. I'm stone cold sober, kids. Okay, Cosmo's coming soon. This you've got to stick around for. Please don't go before the end of the broadcast because Cosmo, what happened to him? He's been stealing plot lines from Doctor Who. Let us put Neil on from Go Stargazing now. Here he comes in 3, 2, 1. Hi, Neil.
Hey, good evening, Vicky. How are you?
How are you in your little attic up there?
I wish I had Liam's background, actually. I wonder how he's getting the ISS live views of the ISS projected.
He's got all the I'll put Liam on. I'll put Liam on. Liam, meet Neil from Go Stargazing.
Hello there. Hi there.
Hi there, Neil. Yeah, so it helps that I have a green screen behind me and I have a video mixer. So these are actually pre-recorded clips right now because you can never you can count on the space station being in darkness just at the moment that you want to show something. So at the moment, yeah, it's still in darkness, just passing close to it's going to be going across just south of Australia.
Yeah.
So that's why I always, with my video switching gear, I just switch between different views and things. This is, I think, a recording of Italy. Oh, wrong. Let me bring that back up again. Anyway, you sort of get the idea.
It's much
there you go.
better than my attic.
Yeah.
Basically, all my astronomy stuff actually is all piled up in the corner because we're getting some work done on the house downstairs. So
yeah, if only you saw what was behind this green screen, it would. My mom, bless her heart, would say, "Clean up your office, Liam."
Okay.
Like she doesn't speak like that, but
all mums speak like that. Thank you so much, Liam. See you later. Thanks for the insider tips. We need to sort out our backgrounds, Neil. We really do. We need to. Do you want to go on?
I mean, look, you're all dressed up for the part. I've just still got my scruffs on. I'm definitely going to try harder next time, Vicky.
To be honest, Neil, I did spring this surprise on you.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm very happy to help out, and
thank you very, very much. Yeah, you need a cosmic military cap and a bit of green screen going on, Neil. Up your game now. You're a pro, love.
Next time, I'm on it.
Yay, good stuff. So, Neil, I can't remember the last time we had you on. Just explain a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I'm Neil Sanders. I run a little website called Go Stargazing, and I'm really keen on outreach astronomy. So I love, getting people outdoors, out under dark skies, looking up at the, the starry skies above and through, cool things through telescopes and things like that. But I'm also a very keen supporter of the astronomy community. So Go Stargazing features locations and public stargazing events that people can go and look through telescopes. And
it's like a fantastic and very diligently curated directory of all of the brilliant stargazing events around the country, which have started to come back to life now, haven't they?
They have, and more and more people are starting to do hybrid events. So part online, like via Zoom, and part in maybe wherever the societies or clubs used to meet. I think there's a big question mark about what happens with this new variant and stuff, but hopefully they'll all come back. I would probably say that about 25% of places are meeting or observatories are open at the moment. So there's still loads more that would be going on in normal times.
Great.
But yeah, I'm just keeping the website up to date as and when I hear things, and check it out, see if there's something near you.
You've got a very diligently compiled map of dark sky sites as well, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm always adding to it as well as I get recommendations and suggestions. So yeah, there's a dark sky locations map comes in useful. For example, we've got the Geminids meteor shower coming up. I might mention that in a moment. But that's, you know, a useful map to find places where you might go and see the Geminids.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's all going on in December. Do you want to give us a little rundown of what we've got coming up in the sky?
Yeah, I have. I've done a couple of screenshots just using Stellarium. So let me see if I can share my screen. So I think if you can you see that?
Yeah, let's go here.
Oh, there you go. Cool. So yeah, sorry about I realized the text is probably going to be really smaller. These are little graphics that I do. So I've got a Facebook page as well, and I often post sort of graphics of what people can see and when in the sky. So this is like just repurposing what I've done ready for this month. So so there's Comet Leonard, or to give its full designation, C2021 A1 Leonard. So this is a comet that seems to be brightening at the moment, although there's mixed reports. It's currently a binocular object or telescope object, pretty much just north of Arcturus, the bright red star Arcturus. It's an early morning object, so you need to get up just before sunrise. That's the best time to see it. And I've picked this particular date, Friday the 3rd of December. If you can get up nice and early in the morning, 5 o'clock-ish, not a bit before, then Comet Leonard will pass right by the globular cluster M3. So this is, not only is it a great opportunity for astrophotographers out there to get a picture of the comet next to the cluster, but it might also help for those people who have got go-to telescopes. They can line their telescope up and slew their telescope to M3, and they should find the comet just a little bit below it. So Friday the 3rd of December is probably the best time to see that. What else have we got this month? I've also tracked down a lovely conjunction of the Crescent Moon on Tuesday. So that's week today, early evening, just after sunset. You'll easily see Venus over the coming month. So throughout the course of December, Venus is going to be shining very brightly, low towards the southwest of an evening, just after sunset, but it's unmistakable. I saw it last night for the first time for a while, and it looks gorgeous. And on the 7th of December, it will be joined by a crescent moon. The moon graphic, or the moon, is much, much bigger than it really is in the view. I like to make my moon bigger because when it's low in the sky, then it actually looks bigger to the naked eye due to the moon illusion. But that's something to look out for on the 7th. I forgot to ask, are you going to set your alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday?
Oh, inevitably.
Yeah, I thought so. I know how keen you are. And then, so this month is the peak of the Geminids meteor shower. So this is arguably the best meteor shower of the year. It's certainly the best one I've ever seen. It peaks. The best night to see the Geminids is the night of the Monday, the 13th of December, into the early hours of the 14th of December. Around 2 o'clock in the morning is when it actually peaks, and you might expect to see maybe as many as 50 shooting stars per hour, all emitting or appearing to radiate from the constellation of Gemini. Kind of sort of trying to enhance the graphic a little bit here just to show where the radiant is. So this is where you'll see shooting stars appear from in the sky. It's new moon as well, so the skies are going to be really dark. So it's well worth venturing to a dark sky location if you can, and enjoy the show. You know, literally, you just need to sit back, try and find somewhere where there's some nice, clear, wide open horizons that are unobstructed, and chill out and look up and take some hot chocolate, coffee with you. Have an evening out. The nights before and after are also pretty good as well. So that's well worth looking out for. And then finally, I've just picked out this one. So this is New Year's Eve. So between Christmas and New Year, Venus and Mercury are going to be really quite close to each other in the evening skies. So again, you know, soon after sunset, as soon as the sun's dipped below the horizon, you should start seeing Venus, and then hopefully Mercury soon after. It's quite faint, but if you catch it at the right time and you get some good skies and you've got a clear southwest
Wow.
horizon where you can see low in the sky, then that should be a nice little conjunction for certainly for New
Oh,
Year.
yeah. I definitely think Mercury is one of the most, for me anyway, in my basic astronomy ability, that Mercury is one of the hardest things to spot. And when you do, it's so good because it's there in the sunset or the sunrise, and it's like it's magical seeing Mercury. It's probably the most exciting planet to spot after Saturn because it's so tricky.
It's the most difficult to observe. Mainly, because of its proximity to the sun. So wherever it is in the sky, as seen from Earth, it's always close to the sun. So it always appears low in the sky just before sunrise, or just after, just before sunset, and just before sunrise. So, but actually, there is, I think, this apparition, this opportunity to see Mercury means that it's actually going to be, quite one of the better opportunities. So it's well worth looking out for.
Yay, it's good, and it's so it kind of occupies the reddish zone between day and night, and when you spot it, it's like undeniably stable and almost yellowish in color, and it's like you just can't believe that's Mercury. To me, seeing Mercury is like seeing a celebrity, maybe even like spotting the real Freddie Mercury. It's that exciting.
I mean, I've been interested in astronomy for maybe 10 years. I think I've probably seen it 3 or 4 times in that time. So,
The amount of astronomers who've never seen Mercury.
yeah.
So mention it in the comments. Mention if you've never seen Mercury, and we'll sort that out for you.
I think it was visible early in the pandemic, just soon after lockdown started, the first lockdown. And it was a really good view there, and I think quite a few people might have got to see it then. It's just it depends on the time of year and where the line of the ecliptic is, as to how easily readily visible it'll be. But if it's clear, certainly if the weather's good in between Christmas and New Year, then I'll be making a big deal of it and encouraging people to get out there and have a look for it.
Ooh, there's a good challenge.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, beware very much of the sun there. Blimey.
It is certainly it's more easy to see with a pair of binoculars. John's there said it with a telescope. You can see it with binoculars as well, but you do have to be very careful that the sun has set. I advise not to look for Mercury with a telescope or binoculars until the sun has set, or unless John, like you're John, and probably got a go-to telescope, which is can accurately point to it.
Neil, you have come on right at the last minute, and it's nice to actually have some pure astronomy on the show. So tell us a little bit more about, you've had some good, there's a go. Sorry, some of the comments in there are just making me sit now. There's the app. Talk about the app.
All right. Okay. Yes. So as well as my website, which features a map of stargazing events and locations, I've also in the process of building a mobile app. So basically, this has come from the fact that before the pandemic, I had about 4,000 or 5,000 website subscribers who I would email on a daily basis to say if there was any stargazing events near them, and if the weather was good. But that mailing list has shot up to about 75,000 now. So I can't send a mailing out, to that many people every day. So I've in the process of building this app. So this will pick up your location from your GPS, or you can type in where you are or where you would like to search for, and it will show you events and locations near you. And if you enable a little notifications option, it will ping you in the morning to say if there's any stargazing events that over the coming days, with a good weather forecast. It hasn't been sending me very many notifications because the weather's been so poor. But that's the idea behind it is, and hopefully it'll be a free app and people can download it. Hopefully you can go to my website there and sign up just to sort of get an email when it is ready to download. Hopefully this coming month, December, it should all be ready. So thank you for letting me tell everyone about that.
Wow, thanks, Neil. That's really exciting. That's a big lot of newsletter subscribers. I'm always impressed at big lists. As a marketer, I'm always impressed. So you mentioned something about joining with the Federation of Astronomical Societies?
Oh yes, so I put a little proposal to them a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I've been keen to try and join forces with them for a while, because most of the events that are on my website are, of course, societies or clubs or observatories run by astronomy societies. So I've always been promoting, the societies, and it just seemed a natural sort of progression to work with the Federation of Astronomical Societies. So I put a little proposal together for them, and they've come back and approved it. So Go Stargazing is soon to be formally announced as an official partner. And really, it'll be me helping them with a little bit of technology and some data feeds, and just really trying to share the fact that there's some fantastic astronomy societies and clubs out there doing all sorts of fantastic things, and making the public more aware of that. That's the idea behind it.
Yeah, you do some lovely work. It's all really feel good stuff that you do. Working in astronomy is such a nice way to pass the day, isn't it? Well done, you. Well done. So
Thank
go
you.
support Neil at Go Stargazing. Become subscriber 75,001 if you so desire. Thank you so much for coming on last minute and for giving us a little tour of the Christmas skies above.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's lovely to be on the show again. Thanks ever so much.
Very
Vicky.
good, very good. We'll work on your hat and your backdrop next time,
Yeah,
Neil. We'll get
next
you.
time.
You need a style guru. I'll come in and dress your set for you.
All right.
Right.
I'll put the effort in.
Yeah. See you soon, Neil. Thank you. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, he's so nice. Okay. We're coming up to an hour now. Thank you for all the comments. I've got another 3 there. The minute I turn me back, the comments flood onto the screen. Very interesting, Neil. Many thanks. Many, many thanks. Great talk. Thanks, Neil. Every time you spell Neil's name with 1 L instead of 2, a new street light goes up on your road. It's 2 L's. I couldn't. Ian, it's really hard to find Mercury. Honestly, I've spent hours scanning the horizon, and the minute you get it, the instant you get it, it disappears again. It can be a real tricky find. So all the best with spotting Mercury. We'd love to know if you get to spot it. Right, I've got something for you. I've got something. How the heck am I going to do this now? I should have rehearsed this. Right, where's Cosmo been? Now, somebody's written this for me. I've not written this. I've just cut and pasted it out of an email, and I've just Googled it. And the places are actually the genus and the what are they called now? Let me have a look. Oh, I can't, the Latin names for sloths, right? And that's why it's so clever. And Malk, my astronomy lecturer, teacher, friend, did this. So where has Cosmo been? Of course, it was the planet Xenar. That's spelt with an X, where he visited the town Folivora. That is the species name for sloths, I think. And he befriended one of the inhabitants. They did. Oh, I'm going to trip right over this one now. I'm going to sprawl over the next word. They discussed many things, but focused on philosophy and its universal relevance. Now, if any of that made any sense, what I'm about to show you next isn't going to make any sense at all. So something has happened to Cosmo. Are you ready? Forgot to put that at the end. There's a new Cosmo. If it's good, isn't he a delight? If it's good enough for Doctor Who, it's good enough for. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, sorry, the TV just came on. If it's good enough for Doctor Who, it's good enough for Cosmo. And he's come back from a higher dimension and appears to have come back 3D rather than the flat. Cosmo flew too close to the sun. So this is the all-new Cosmo, and he's a lot more cuddly and seems to be, for the meanwhile, a lot more well-behaved. He's just acclimatizing. I'll start throwing him around soon. But Suntan Cosmo, yeah, and 3D Cosmo, because the other one was just like a embroidered face. So he's got beans in his bum. Let's see what it says about him on his little label. Oh, yeah. I'm sure I had a label. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Here you go. It is made with... My stuffing is made from recycled post-consumer PET plastic, most commonly used in plastic bottles and food containers. So there you go. Don't look at the price label. That was a lot of money. It's a premium stuffed toy. You like his label. Is Cosmo now a she? I can't tell. He's going to have to go to the vets. It is going to have to go to the vets until we find out. So, anyway, let's have a look here. Diddly dee. There's another song to play. Here it comes. There it is. He's been flying around the solar system, or maybe a bit further. But to the casual observer, he's a mithering, pestering sloth. Where have you been to this week, Cosmo? Cosmo, where have you been? 3 clues. Only answer after the clues. Cosmo over and out. Now, Cosmo, you originally did have a mission planned to the suction toilet on the space station, but being as you've got such lovely new fur, I don't think that was a good idea. Old Cosmo would have been in there in a heartbeat, ferreting around and looking for bits. But new Cosmo's gone somewhere a bit further and a bit more exciting. You are so cute. You are so cuddly. Just gorgeous to cuddle. So where has Cosmo been? 3 clues. They were actually quite easy. I was running out of steam by the end of today. Okay, it's a pockmarked little world where Cosmo has been. It's 99% the diameter of the planet Mercury, but only a third of its mass. So there you go. And this crazy little body is composed of approximately equal amounts of rocks and ices. So where has Cosmo been? It's a pockmarked little world, 99% the diameter of Mercury, but only a third of the mass. And it's composed of approximately equal amounts of rock and ices. Sloth. Yes, it's a sloth. Cosmo has been using hair restorer. Can I have some, please, Cosmo? Oh, we're getting the right answers in. The usual regulars have got it right first, but we'll see if a couple of other people get it right first before I flash the answer up on screen. Go to sleep. Go. Still has the same hanging ability of last Cosmo. Very clingy. David Deegan is the only person to get it right so far. Oh, no, Philip Steele, well done. He's also got it right. Don't look at the comments. Use your brain instead. It is the pockmarked little world, 99% the diameter of the planet Mercury, but only a third of its mass. It's composed of approximately equal amounts of rock and ices. Oh, look, you're all getting the right answers here. Jim Roberts, I'm afraid. Cosmo. Very sad that you got it wrong. Well done, everybody. I'm going to start telling you the answers. Cosmo, what do you think of the new Cosmo? What do you think? What do you think? It's nice for me because I've got a cuddle friend. It's Callisto, or Jupiter IV. That's Jupiter 4 in it. The second largest moon of Jupiter after Ganymede. It's the third largest in the solar system. Callisto. Pluto. Sorry, Jim. Callisto. Kiri's scared to answer. Lol. Cosmo rocks. Oh, thank you, Philip. That's so cute. That's so cute. I'm going to play the little video I made. I spent ages on this. You're going to get it twice, and it just tickles me because right at the end, the little hey. Where did it go? There we go. One more. Right. This might be the last time you ever see traditional Cosmo, 2D Cosmo. Pluto has a heart, though. Yeah, look. Liam, I've tried to get the Tardis noise on it, but it was really hard to get off the computer and onto the thing. So it's like there in the background, and there's all sorts of sound effects layered over that. There's horses, there's trumping, there's a time machine, and there's magic sounds as well. It's all there in that crazy mix of sounds. Some may say I put too much time into the show, but I do love it. I love it. I love doing it all for you, popular astronomers. A talking Cosmo. Maybe that was me at the end. I can't do Cosmo's voice. If anyone wants to provide Cosmo's voice, please feel free. But I should... What noise do sloths make? I'm going to have to Google this. Right. What noise do sloths make? Video. Don't tell me they make cute squeaks, don't they? I've seen this before. Oh, they squeak. Oh. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this. Hang on a minute. Where's the magic button? Screen share. Share screen. Can I share this? Chrome tab. Share audio. Right, here we go. Oh, come on. I think I can do this. Oh, stop. That was incredibly touching, Cosmo. Did you know that you squeaked? The sound... That was so cute. It sounds like you getting out of bed in the morning. That was too cute. Okay, popular astronomers, it's been a pleasure. It sounds like my son all the time. Ma, I've heard your son in the background, Kiri. He does make noises like that. Ma! You lot are amazing. I love you all so much. Thank you. Thank you for accepting Cosmo as one of our own. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to switch the off button now and go back to the field. This lodge is in a field on its own and the park is shut. And you are my only friends. Can you see the panic in my eyes? I swear it's panic. Thanks for inviting me on your show. Thank you, Neil. It's been lovely to see you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Liam. Cosmo loves you too. Do you know what? Thank you for all your great comments. Say your good nights now. I'll stay on for another 1 minute because it really does hurt me to switch this thing off. It really does. I've got to turn the light out. I've got to put all the stuff away and life just goes back to Tuesday after this. But while I'm connected to you, I'm connected to the universe. Cheers and clear skies to you. You better, thank you. Thank you. That is nice because look down here. I don't know whether you can see it. There's no... I've got to finish assembling that thing. That is my 8-inch dob there that I will be attempting to finish assembling and get it out there. Get it out there. Got to put some eyepieces on or something. I don't know. Got to put some extra bits on it. Currently just a circular tube. You lot are amazing. Thanks, Ian. Thank you, everybody. Oh, David, we didn't notice you were late, to be honest, mate. Steve Salmon. Of the Italia, am I correct with that? British Interplanetary Society. Did you... Cosmo sends his love to you. Are you in Italy at the minute, Steve? Kiri, that's the best comment anybody's ever had. And Kiri, I know my friend in the States, it is amazing because until you started watching the show, you weren't really a massive space buff. So that's lovely. Lovely to see you again, albeit briefly. You can always rewind. Hit rewind, hit rewind. You can binge watch like 18 months worth of this show. I've barely skipped a week, give or take a handful. So you've got like, there is like days of this show, days and days of this show. Okay, buongiorno and good night, whatever that is in Italian. I don't know. I'm not very multilingual. Right, you lot. It's time to go. Gonna go and have another alcohol-free beer. In the meanwhile, look at my jumper. Look at my jumper. Good night. Look at my jumper.